guys, how's it going? Hey, it's Helen Hartsmith here. Sorry you caught me reading. Sorry. Helen Hartsmith here from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. How you doing? I've missed you guys. Aw, I hope you had a great summer. I know it's been a minute or a lot since I recorded a video. Sorry about that. I had a super trying summer, so I'm kind of dubbing this the summer that I didn't intend to take a summer vacation, but that's kind of what happened. So hi. I'm okay, I'm still here. Sorry about the gap in videos, but like I said, it's been a pretty trying summer. So I thought, hey, why don't I tell you what I did with my, I didn't know I was going to have a summer vacation summer. I made a list. I'm a little out of practice, but I've missed you guys and I've really wanted to talk to you. So if I sound a little weird, that's because I'm kind of out of the groove of talking. So let's jump into things. I made a list because I was like, I realized how much time had passed and I was like, literally, where did summer go? Because I feel like it just totally ran away. And it's kind of odd. So I made a list of like, I thought about it, I'm like, what did I do? And I'm like, oh yeah, there was that and there was that. And so, like I said, it was a cruddy summer for me because I had some health things that were, they were just kind of, I call it health crud, and I'm fine. You know, I don't have like a massive disease or anything like that. I haven't been like super sick, but what I have been dealing with is some really crappy allergies. And from, you know, my friends and family members, my brother has severe allergies and has had them his entire life. Mine have kind of been an adult onset batch of allergies. And so from talking to friends and family, it's been a nightmarish summer for everybody with allergies. And for me, they just really hit me super hard. And I'm hoping, I've got some tea going right now. So I'm hoping that I'm not gonna hack and hork like I normally do. Normally my mornings are spent hacking up a half a lung, and boy, am I so glad that I gave up smoking years ago, because I can't imagine feeling this crappy and then being a smoker on top of it. It's just, it's disgusting. So I've, of course, been taking allergy meds. I've been using the Flonase. I've actually been using my inhaler like practically every day. It's just been, and my breathing is all crappy and wheezy, shortness of breath, and it just hasn't been pleasant. And that's just been really draining, you know, when you spend your day just, you know, trying to get through it and not, you know, not die from not being able to take a deep breath. It kind of takes its toll on you. So that just really sapped a lot of my energy this summer that I was trying to deal with. On top of that, I pinched something in my lower back / hip area. And I'm not a big person to like look for stuff online, but I did look it up because I'm like, what is this? I had pain shooting down my left leg and up my back and into my neck and what have you, and it was the most uncomfortable that I have ever been in my entire life. And I think that it was probably a pinched sciatica maybe, or whatever. And so there's not a whole lot that you can do with that. So I did see that there were some stretches that you could do. So I did do those. The only time that I was comfortable was seriously when I laid face down in bed. I couldn't lay on my side, couldn't lay on my back, couldn't stand, couldn't sit. It was miserable there for about, I would say, a good 3 weeks, maybe even a month, where it was just like, I can't even get comfortable. So that was unpleasant too. But I really think a lot of, outside of feeling crappy like that, I think that, here's where we get super real, guys. So this might be a little sad, you know, note, whatever. But I think I'm really struggling with a bit of grief depression still. And so my mom was a big fan of summertime, and being that I'm from Michigan, my mom loved Michigan, and she loved going places and doing things. You know, she was never about a lot of travel outside of the state. And, you know, we're big Mackinac City folks and traveling, you know, doing different things in Michigan. And I think that it hit me more this summer than maybe it did last summer, because we lost her in May. So this past May was a year. I was really hoping that hitting that year mark would be kind of game changing in the process of grief. But I found that it's not the case. And so I am continuing to deal with that loss, and that kind of saps your energy too. That depression is it's a shitty thing. Let's just be real about it. And I'm really happy for folks out there that are more notable than I am, you know, like Prince William and Prince Harry. They're out there talking about, you know, how mental health has a stigma and it's okay to be sad, you know, and things like that. So I'm really glad that there are folks out there that are trying to take away some of that stigma. And, you know, grief is a process. And so I'm going to continue to work through it. And, you know, I'm hoping that sitting down and actually making a video, because I'm here to tell you, I tried to do my filming on like Monday or Tuesday. And I try to do all my filming like for the week or whatever. And it was just like, I would say, okay, I'm going to film this week. And then I, you know, would get home from work on a Monday or a Tuesday. And I was just like, I'm spent. Work was pretty crazy this summer too. So I don't talk a lot about my day job, but I'm an engineer by trade. And so there was a lot of stuff that happened this summer that was kind of stressful and things like that. So all in all, the summer went by super quickly, and I had a lot of kind of, I don't want to call them negative experiences, but they were trying. And so for me to actually sit down and film a video, I feel like I've kind of won something. So yay, I'm going to give myself some applause there, because just sitting down to do it in and of itself. It's not like I didn't have things to say, because I still have videos that I want to record. It was just, you know, sitting down and actually doing it was the hard part. So yeah. So what did I do with my summer outside from feeling like crap? I actually did a lot of reading. I have to say that I'm incredibly proud of myself for the amount of reading that I've done this year. One of the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year was I wanted to read a book a month. And I am super excited to say that here I am, and it's the beginning of September, and I don't think I'm quite at the point, but I'm very close to the point where I've read 2 books for the year. I'm almost at 24 books for the year. And so I'm really excited about that. I've got a lot of books that I haven't read. And so, you know, sometimes looking at my bookshelves, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I need to read those books. I need to read those books. And so this year I feel like I've really upped my game on expanding my learning and reading some nonfiction and things like that. And I was speaking with a friend of mine that I ran into. She works for a library, and I believe she's in charge of like the young adult section at this library, and we're friends on Goodreads, and she reads so many books. Her and her husband both are avid book readers. And I was talking to her and I was like, you know, she was kind of like the inspiration for me, seeing all these books that she read. And I'm like, you know, I just need to do it, you know, just read. And so I was talking to her and I said, you know, I told her about how, you know, she was an inspiration. And I also said that I feel like I'm kind of cheating a little bit. And she says, why? I said, well, I'm listening to books on audio as well as reading. She goes, that's not cheating. She said, we listen to books on audio all the time. You know, if they're taking a road trip or whatever, they have a daughter that she's like, she might be 8 or 10, or she might be 9 or 10. I don't remember. But if they go somewhere, I know that her husband did a lot of, he had a job where he did a lot of driving from client to client, and so he would read books there. She's like, no, that's not cheating. That's still a book. You know, you're still putting the time in to listen, even though it's reading. So so I did a lot of reading this year, and I really wanted to concentrate on some of my Wicca books, and so those are the books that I'm reading, and then the books that I'm listening to are more fiction books. And so, and that's cool because that's just kind of how it crumbles. I haven't really seen a lot of Wicca books that are on audio. So maybe that's something that the industry needs to look at, because there are folks out there that have sight issues and stuff like that an audiobook might be, you know, for their betterment, that they can actually, you know, listen to it and what have you. But anyhow, I'm pretty excited because I completed a trilogy from Cassandra Clare. If you've watched the channel at all, I know I've done some reviews on, let's see, her first series of books is called The Mortal Instruments, and there was a book done on the series, and Freeform did 3 seasons based on her books called Shadowhunters. So if you're familiar with those 2 things, or maybe you're familiar with the books, I did a review of The Mortal Instruments as a series, which is a 6-book series. There's a prequel called crap, it escapes me, but it takes place in England. I did reviews on those 2 series of books. I'll go ahead and link I'll put a link in the description box if you're interested in checking out those reviews. She has a trilogy of books that takes place 5 years after The Mortal Instruments. And so I wanted to wait until the series was all out before I listened to them, because, you know, my detail retention is not the greatest, so I wanted to just be able to listen to all 3 of them at once. And man, that was a really good series. If y'all are interested in my thoughts on that, it's the Dark Artifices is what this third series is, and she's got like 2 or 3 more series planned. So those books were, let's see, Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness. So if you're interested on my thoughts on those, then let me know, and maybe I'll do a separate video talking about those. But I really enjoyed that series. She's got another series of books that center on the characters Alec and Magnus, and I listened to that first book because those are my favorite characters in the whole. Magnus Bane is a mage that appears in a lot of the stuff that she's written, and so I like him, and I wasn't going to wait for the other 2 because that's a planned trilogy. So I ran ahead and listened to that one. That one was amazing. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm excited for the Wicca books that I have read as well. I read a book by Thea Sabine called A Teaching Handbook for Wiccans and Pagans, and that I think that's going to be super helpful. Kathy and I are looking at our degree program and kind of rehashing it and things. I highly recommend it. She covers some really good ground there. And again, if you want me to do a full review on that book, then I would be happy to do so. I'm looking down through. There was a lot of fiction that I've listened to. I have a commute. So I listen to things going back and forth on that. And there's some books that I've got in process too. I'm thinking about doing a video on the books that I'm currently reading. So if you're interested in something like that, then, you know, watch out for that, because I'm the type of person, I can't read one book at once. I have to have a lot. And so on my Goodreads account, I've really been using that to keep track of what I want to read, what I have read, what I'm currently reading. And so I can go through that in a video if you are interested. That may happen. It probably will happen. A big time waster for me this summer is that new game that came out for your phones, Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Yep, I'm playing that game. I've actually taken a break the last couple of weeks, but I was playing hot and heavy for a while there. And so if anyone out there is playing and wants to be friends, I will put my number, my player number, in the description box. So feel free to friend me, and I'd love to connect with you there. It's a really fun game. It's a time waster. It is really a time waster. So I think that may have negatively contributed to my desire to do anything else. Let's be real. But it was fun, and I guess if you pace yourself and say, okay, I'm only going to play for a certain amount of time, and you stick with that, then it can be an enjoyable thing. And if you're a Harry Potter fan, they did a really good job with it. If you don't know about this game, which I can't imagine anyone not knowing about it, they're using the same stuff that was used in Pokemon Go, is what I've been told. I did not play Pokemon Go, so I'm not familiar with anything there, but it's the same stuff. So it's like, I think you used balls in Pokemon Go, and in Wizards Unite you use spells. So you have to have spells to do stuff. And they're the same locations and things like that. The graphics are really cool. The effects are cool. They've had quite a number of special events and things like that to help keep it interesting. So all in all, I think it's a good game. And so if you're looking for a game, then yeah, check it out. And like I said, I'll put my number in the description box. So if you want to friend request me, we can totally do that. I also have done quite a bit of playing with rocks with Leanne. My friend Lee is getting into lapidary work, and she's really doing some amazing stuff. I mean, it's crazy. She's only been kind of she's been openly interested for maybe a couple of years. We do a lot of the rock shows. We do a lot of shopping for rocks together, crystals and things like that. And she's gotten machinery. She's gotten 10-inch saws for slicing rocks. She's got her Cab King. I did a video where she took us through some of the machinery that she has, her tumblers and things like that. So I can put a link in the description box for that. So this summer we've spent quite some time, some fun time, doing some slicing of rocks and in preparation for her making some things. And so that's been really fun. And she's been sharing a lot of stuff on her Instagram. So if anybody's interested, I think her intention is to eventually sell her lapidary creations. So she's creating things like cabochons, things like that, and she's also doing some wire wrapping that is pretty cool. So I'm hoping that she will make some of those things available. So for now, I'll go ahead and put a link for her Instagram account. She's been sharing a lot of the things that she's been doing there, and hats off, because it's cool. And I'm just dreaming of the day when she buys a sphere machine. Just think about that for a second. Making your own crystal spheres. Oh, heck yes. I'm on board. I'm totally on board. She knows that. She's interested. We'll see what happens. There's also a television program that I discovered on Amazon Prime that I have been watching and loving. It's an older show, but for anyone who's interested in archaeology or history, maybe this is something that you want to check out. The show is called Time Team, and it's a UK show. It ran for 20 seasons, okay? This show started in the early to mid 90s and ran for 20 seasons. They also had quite a few specials. So I discovered it, like I said, on Amazon Prime. Now, unfortunately, on Amazon Prime, they have season 11, and then they have seasons, I think it's 16 through 20. Amazon, where's the rest of the episodes? I was able to find, like, I don't know if everything is out there. Oh dear. I don't know if everything is out there, but YouTube, I found a lot of specials and a lot of the episodes that were missing. So the premise is, it's this team of archaeologists. My brother's trying to call me. It's this team of archaeologists that they get invited to a site and they do a dig for 3 days. They're trying to prove something, or they're trying to find something, or what have you, and they go through the process and they show you the finds. It's really cool. It's a lot of really good historical information. Most of their digs take place in the British Isles. So Britain, Scotland, Ireland. I believe one of their episodes takes place in America. Sorry guys. Takes place in America, and it actually spawned 2 seasons of an American version of Time Team, and those 2 seasons are available on Amazon Prime as well. Okay? Sorry about that. I figured I'd better call him and see what was shaking bacon. So anyhow, the last thing that that's been taking up my time is I found out I tend to be late to the game sometimes with things like with music and movies and things like that. And you know, I used to work at a record store. I used to work at a Sam Goody. Does anybody remember Sam Goody's? I used to know like all the music that was coming out, all the movies that were coming out and TV shows and all that kind of stuff. And since it's been a good maybe 10 years since I worked there, I've really gotten out of the loop of new things, unless it's Marvel movies kind of a thing or whatever. So anyhow, I found out recently about a movie that was released in 2017 called Call Me By Your Name. And it is based on a book by Andre Aciman. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. But it's a really good movie. I'm not even sure exactly how it came on my radar. But it stars Armie Hammer and Timothée Chalamet. And so I had to find the movie. I have a feeling it came on, it popped up on YouTube. You know, I was looking at videos, popped up on YouTube, and it's a coming of age story / first love / it's a gay romance / summer. There's a lot that is kind of encompassing in this movie, and it's really beautiful. And I had heard of Armie Hammer before. I had heard his name, but I had no idea what he looked like. I had never watched any of his movies. And so after seeing and watching Call Me By Your Name, I'm like, I kind of dig this Armie Hammer guy. And so I've been looking into, unfortunately, there's not a lot of his movies that are on streaming services that I can find. So I might have to like go rent them or purchase them or see if my friends have them or whatever. But Timothée Chalamet plays a 17-year-old boy named Elio in this film. And this kid Now he's all over the place. I feel like Call Me By Your Name kind of came to me to bring Timothée Chalamet onto my radar, because this guy, he's early 20s. I don't think he's 25 yet. And this kid has been working for a while. He did a few episodes of a show called Homefront that Claire Danes starred in. He was on some episodes of Royal Pains, things like that. But Call Me By Your Name is kind of what brought him to like to the knowledge of everyone, kind of a thing. And since then, he's done a film that I'm really looking forward to watching called Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell. And he did a movie called Hot Summer Nights. And this kid, he's a great actor. And I feel like he's kind of like one of my theater kids from back in the day. And I'm just like, I want to see what you're doing, because I'm so proud and so in awe of the work that you do. And so I'm really geeked for him. I'm really excited because there's a new version of Dune coming out. And so if you're a sci-fi fan, you may have seen the 1984 David Lynch film starring Kyle MacLachlan and Sean Young and Sting. One of my favorite movies of all time. And there's like some amazing people that are in there. Sir Patrick Stewart's in it. Virginia Madsen you see in it. There's just some powerhouse actors in the film. And a young Alicia Witt, if you know who that actress is. And then the Sci-Fi Channel did a mini-series from the first two books. They're based on books by Frank Herbert. And like I said, it's sci-fi. And this new version will have Timothée Chalamet starring as Paul. I'm really excited to see what happens. Jason Momoa is going to be in this film. Dave Bautista is going to be in this film. Stellan Skarsgård is going to play Baron Harkonnen or Harkonnen. I'm not sure exactly. I'm listening to the audiobook right now. And so they say Harkonnen in that book, but then in the movies it was Harkonnen. So let's see what the pronunciation is like in this new movie. So anyhow, Timothée Chalamet, great actor. Check him out. There's Call Me By Your Name is not streaming anywhere, but Hot Summer Nights, he's in Lady Bird as well. And he will be in the new adaptation of Little Women. So Lady Bird, Hot Summer Nights, and Beautiful Boy, they're all streaming on Amazon Prime. So if you have that, you can check those films out there. So if anybody knows of any Armie Hammer films that I should for sure check out, I know that he did Lone Ranger, but that's not streaming anywhere. He's done some others. So if you have favorite films by these two guys, let me know. I'm kind of geeked to continue the exploration of their acting abilities. So that's what I've done with myself this summer. Hopefully my lazy bones is done with not making videos. Like I said, I have things to say, and I'm gonna say them. I'm gonna record, today and see how many I can get done, and share with you my thoughts and opinions on things. So if you've got questions, if there's a book that you're wanting to know what my opinion is, let me know that book. Maybe I've read it. If not, maybe it's something I should read. Lord knows I've got plenty of books in here that I need to be reading, but I'm always looking for more too, so let me know. I think that's going to be it for this video. Let's see, how do I wrap up a video? Let's see. If you liked the video or learned something from it, give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your opinions, so put those in the comments section. Look in the description box for the links that I talked about in this video. You will also find links for all of my social media, as well as Kathy's Instagram. So feel free to check those out. There is an email address there and what have you. Let's see. What else is there? Subscribe. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. Like to have you coming back and checking out videos. And I think that's it. I believe that's it. So thank you for watching. Hopefully the hiatus is over. Thanks for watching. Thank you for taking the time to walk the path for a little while with me. Until next time, blessed be.